Wish that you were better.
And we're off to the races. As people come in, I'm just gonna let them in. You shouldn't be hearing anything, Joel. Oh yeah, let me make you a co-host in case if I get cut off. But hope you guys are having a fantastic day. If you haven't met my co-host, Mr. Joel Kaplan, feel free to go back and watch the replays. In most rooms in marketing, he's somebody that doesn't really need a lot of introduction, to say the least. It's somebody that has a lot of proven track record. And I asked him to come into our ecosystem and elevate our high-level agencies to a different place when it comes to sales and prospecting. And Joel, I appreciate you being here.
Of course.
And let's get right into it, man, without any further ado.
Let's do it. First things first. Not sure if you guys noticed the background change. I am taking today's call from my house. So we don't have a really, really nice mic, but you guys are going to have to live with that. With that in mind, I wanted to get a quick roll call. How many of you guys went back and caught the replays and are all caught up? If you're all caught up on day 1 and day 2, drop a 1 below. If you're not caught up, if it's your first day joining, drop a 2 in the chat. Okay, it seems like most of you guys are all caught up. If for some reason you're not, I saw Len, Raheem, there's a few 2s.
I'm gonna drop the YouTube link.
Yeah, if you're not caught up, you're gonna start feeling left behind a little bit and out of context. So highly recommend to go back and watch day 1 and day 2. It's on the YouTube channel. The HighLevel YouTube channel. Highly recommend you go back and watch those 2 days after today's training so that you can get all caught up. Hopefully that sounds good with you guys. The only other recommendation or thing that I would love to ask you guys, who's finding value in these trainings so far? If you're finding value, give me a thumbs up, drop a 1 below. If you're enjoying these trainings, show some love. And I would absolutely love, the only thing I'm going to ask of you guys, if you're on this training, I would love for you to tag me in your stories and tag HighLevel as well, just to show some love to the HighLevel family. And to me, for me, it's @official Joel Kaplan. Paulson, I don't know the exact handle for HighLevel, but guys, tag us in your stories. That way we can tell the world that we are doing this event. I want to spread the fact that we are doing this for the next 10 days, or like at this point, 7 days, as much as humanly possible. So show some love on that. Tag us in your stories. And with that in mind, let's dive in. Let's see. First things first, guys, I wanted to do a quick pulse check. How's everyone feeling? How's everyone doing so far? Any burning questions that you need to get answered? Before we dive into content for day 3, I just wanted to check in and just see how you guys are feeling, where you guys are at. And so go for it, Landon.
Okay, so I'm selling a software as a service, and the problem I'm running into with, which I've actually found the niche that I want to work with, which is realtors. But since I'm selling the software as a service, does it matter what niche I'm working with?
It does.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, the answer is yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I would definitely niche down, you know.
Okay.
Someone asked that yesterday, if I'm doing just Google review management, should I niche down? What you see a lot of the SaaS companies do is they pick one niche, they go all in on that niche, they capitalize that niche, then they add on new niches.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, thank you.
Some of the biggest like SaaS, there's like Review Wave or Patient Pop. All those people started with one specific sub niche and then they moved out and expanded. Keep in mind with the realtors, you're not going to have to do that pretty much ever because there's so many of them.
Okay, thank you.
How many of you guys picked the niche since yesterday? Give me a show of hands.
How hard was that to make that decision?
Did you guys like the urgency and the accountability in making guys pick? within 24 hours. I'm glad we got that out of the way, because if not, you guys could have spent like weeks on this.
Can y'all type down what your niches are just in the chat? So that way you could even see similar faces and similar names that are, you know, essentially competing with you, but at the same time, it's an opportunity to collaborate, in my opinion, because all these niches are saturated, as we talked about, and there's no perfect niche.
Love it, guys. Fish and chip shops. That's, I don't know, maybe that's too small.
I don't know who that was, but he actually reached out to me yesterday about the fish and chip thing. Mick, it was you, right? Oh yeah, I remember. There's going to be something that's not pleasant about it, I promise you, but there'll be good things too.
Love it. Love it, guys. This makes me really happy. I know it's going to give you guys a ton of clarity. And with that in mind, let's dive into day 3. So today we're going to be talking about offer creation. We're going to be covering the goal of what I like to call the easy yes offer. An easy yes offer is essentially an offer that you promote to someone or you offer someone and make it easy for them to say yes to you. We're going to talk about the elements of an easy yes offer. We're going to talk about my top 3 favorite offers for beginners that are doing less than 10K with their agency. So given the fact that we're covering how to scale an agency to 10K over the course of 10 days, I thought it would be perfect to talk about my favorite offers for people that are in that stage. We're going to also build out an offer for a niche together so you can see this in action. And then last but not least, we're finally going to get into the tactics, strategies, no more high level. We're going to, I don't mean high level software. I mean high level just theory.
I actually believe in that. No more high level drowning. Sean and Robin hates it when I say that, but no more high level technical drowning. All right. I want you guys to focus on sales. So Joel, you can say it. It's cool.
Okay. Well, I meant more like no more 30,000 foot view. We're getting in the dirt. We're going to actually go over the offer that I custom created for everyone here. So as a bonus, I didn't tell Paulson I was doing this. I actually created a whole offer that all of us can use. I guarantee you that even if all 78 of us here use this offer, it's not going to get saturated. And with that in mind, if you're excited to have a custom created offer handed to you on a silver platter, drop a 1 below. And let's finally dive in. So here we go. First things first, let's talk about the goal of the easy yes offer. So for those of you guys that don't know what an offer is, essentially you approach a business and say, hey, here's what I can do for you. You're making them an offer.
Hey there, Peaches.
The difference between a regular offer and an easy yes offer is that the easy yes offer is irresistible. It's very easy for the business owner to take you up on it and say yes to you. Now, we're going to be covering all the things that you need to know about how to make an easy yes offer. But before we do, I wanted to make sure, does that make sense what an offer is when you essentially go to a realtor or a gym owner or a chiro or an e-com store and say, hey, I can help you with this. Are you interested? And here's how I'm going to make it super easy for you to say yes to me right now. That's an easy yes offer. So what does that actually look like? Let's dive in. Well, the goal of the easy yes offer is to make an offer that your prospects want to say yes to. It's pretty obvious. If I approached you guys and said, hey, I'm going to set up your pixel for $100,000, even though there's millions of tutorials that show you how to do it for free and it's very easy to do, how many of you would take me up on that offer today? Give me a show of hands. Landon, $100,000, and I only take wire transfers, all right? Can't put it on your credit card. That way you can't ask for a refund later. How many of you would take me up on that offer? Wire transfer $100,000 to me. I'll set up your pixel right now. We could do it live on this call. The answer is none. None of you guys. It's a crappy offer. It's very hard to say yes to it. However, if I approached you and said, hey, I'm going to personally coach you over the next 10 days and show you how to scale an agency to 10K for free, all you have to do is show up. How many of you guys would say yes to that? Sure, I'll be there. You guys see the difference? You want to make a proposition to a business owner that's easy for them to say yes to. So that's goal number 1. Goal number 2. We want to make the prospect feel like our offer will directly get them what they want and solve their problem. So each one of us has a desire and each one of us has a pain point. We want to align our offer, what we're telling the business owner we can help them with their desires and with their pain points. Now, obviously, a chiropractor that's in the top 1% that sees 1,000 patients a week is going to have very different pain points than a chiropractor that's seeing 80 patients a week, or a gym like Gold's Gym, which is a huge franchise, is going to have a very different pain point than a local CrossFit box that's operated by one person. So the key is to figure out the pain points and the desires for most people in our niche and align our offer with those pains and desires. So for example, how many of you guys struggle with getting appointments for your agency and turning them into closed clients? Give me a show of hands. No shame, no shame. It's the two biggest pain points for digital marketers. It's one of two things. I don't have enough appointments, or I have way too many clients and I'm drowning in my own business. Those are the two biggest ones. So for example, when I coach marketing agency owners, all of my advertising, all of my marketing is focused on solving those two problems. So the key is to figure out what are the common pain points and desires of your niche, and then aligning your offer with those pains and desires. The last goal is to figure out what your clients want and need and offer it to them. So I actually don't believe in just making offers out of thin air. I actually want to do some research on what my niche wants. So for example, let's say I'm working with realtors, or actually let's do a better example. Dentists. Dentists, for the most part, do not have a dedicated front desk staff member to just handle leads. They don't. That's just something that they don't have. And a lot of the times what happens is we start working with a dentist and we just pile on way more work on the front desk assistant that's already there, that is already at 80% capacity. So you're setting up the client to fail. So for example, I could offer them, hey, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to hire a team, or I'm going to hire a team member to support you and follow up with all of your leads. So I'm going to generate the leads for you, and I'm going to have someone there to follow up in conjunction with HighLevel. That way, your front desk staff, all they have to do is call to confirm the appointment the day before and call them an hour before the day of to remind them. So my offer is aligned with what they want and what they need. So now you might be wondering, how do we do that? What goes into an easy yes offer? Now I'm going to break down the elements of an easy yes offer, but before we do, I want to give you guys a quick note. You absolutely don't need to hit on all of the elements. And to jump ahead a little bit, you also have to keep in mind, when you're a beginner, you're going to need a more powerful offer that's even easier for people to say yes to you, because you don't have social proof, you don't have case studies, you don't have referrals. So the more and more advanced you get, and the more social proof you have, and the more case studies you have, and the more proof of results you have behind your agency, the less crazy your offer has to be. Because at that point, people know that when you say you're going to help them, there's proof in the world that you can deliver on that promise. So for example, George and I were talking over Messenger last night, and he was like, Joel, like, I've been retaining my clients for years. Why do I have to launch a crazy powerful offer? Like, well, the reality is you just need to showcase all of those results to people, and that's what will get them to say yes. You don't need to rely as much on a crazy irresistible offer. But if you're just starting out, why would someone pay you $2,500 a month when the offer is crappy and you have no results to show for it? So I did want to throw that disclaimer out there. Before I dive into the elements of an easy yes offer, I know this is kind of complex. This is probably the most kind of like complex day we'll have, but it's still really important. Any questions? Does that make sense so far, what I've spoken about up to this point?
Joel, can I share something real quick?
Please, please.
So this may not be just relevant to just the beginners, right? Joel, I don't even know if you know this, but a couple of months ago, one of our high-level chiropractors called us. We're crushing it for him, right? We had no issues with this guy ever. And he said there's this girl that reached out to him, and her name was Ashley. So Joel, I know at Atlas Digital with your automations, there's an Ashley in there, right? So I was like, who is this Ashley? So I called the guy. I don't know if you know, if you remember his name. It was Bay Area Disc Center, Dr. Thomas Fergino. You can look at your database because he came over to you guys from us. For those of you who don't know, a lot of the top agencies, we all share the same clients across the board, different time periods. So it's not it's not a big deal. But you know what? I got on a call with him
because they come back around.
They all do. We're getting him close to like 150 leads, and I was like, "Oh, you found a marketing company called Atlas Digital. Interesting, because I know the guy that runs it. His name is Joel Kaplan." He's like, "Yeah, I talked to Joel and his guys, and they have a better offer for me." And I'm like, "Interesting. Tell me about this offer." You guys offer to manage the leads, get them booked, and basically give the doc appointments, where here at the HighLevel agency, we're just generating the leads and he had to follow up. And this is with good results with two big agencies that are producing similar results. You see the power of the offer. And me and Joel, I think this is the first time we even talked about this because, you know, clients come and go.
Here's the kicker, guys. If you have results and social proof and case studies, and you've proven to your niche that you can deliver on your promise, and on top of that, you release a crazy offer, then it's game over. You just beat everyone. So you don't need it. You know, I have two clients of mine who are doing over 250K a month in the dental niche. They don't have a crazy offer, but they have so many testimonials, so many case studies, and they're like, we don't want to do that. That's just not, we don't need to at this point. But I'm telling you, if they decided to release a crazy offer, they would definitely take over even more.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. My point being, even later, after you've scaled, you still need an offer. I'm telling you, you do.
Yep. Cool. It seems like you guys are getting it. Any questions? This is probably the most complex day, so I want to make sure to answer questions along the way. Maybe not. Maybe this is the most basic day. And forcing you guys to pick a niche was the hardest part. So, all right, let's keep going. Elements of an easy yes offer. Like I said, you don't need all of these elements. And for example, my agency doesn't have all of these elements, but these are the things that go into it. So you can pick and choose. And what I would say to you guys is the same thing I said yesterday. Figure out how to go after the biggest people in your niche and take their offers and make them better, make them more unique, make them different. Remember, the one question that I tell all of my clients that I coach that are agency owners is to figure out how to take everything that I'm teaching and then beat me. So you guys should look at all the offers in the marketplace, and instead of asking yourself, oh, whose offer should I copy? Who has a good offer in the real estate niche? Or who has a good offer in the chiro niche? So that I could just model it. That's the wrong way to look at it. The right way to look at it is, who has a good offer in the chiropractor niche? How can I then take it, make it my own, add my own unique spin on it, figure out other ways that I can make it better and add my own unique value, and launch that offer. So with that in mind, here's some of the elements to an easy yes offer. If we have a big promise or a guarantee, that's going to make it really easy for people to say yes to you. So for example, one of my good friends, Nick Robbins, guarantees a return on your investment. He works with pain management clinics, and he guarantees, hey, if you work with us and you do the work, we'll guarantee that you'll get an ROI. That's the biggest promise that you can offer. To give you guys another example, I put here 10 appointments in 30 days. You can do, if you're in e-commerce, you can do an increase in return on ad spend or an increase in total sales volume. If you do, what's it called? Website conversion optimization, where you're optimizing websites for conversion, you can guarantee an increase in conversion rate. So you can get creative with it, but the key is to make a big promise. The most famous ones for lead gen agencies are going to be leads, appointments, and people that show up, that walk through your door. Those are going to be the top three. Another element of an easy yes offer is the risk reversal, removing risk. So the idea is we're going to go out and make a big promise, but we're also going to remove the element of risk. Because again, if there's no risk, guess what? It's easier for someone to say yes. So if I told you, hey guys, I'm going to promise you to help you get 10 new agency clients, and if it doesn't work, I'm going to give you a full refund. That's a no-brainer offer. That's very easy to say yes to you. I'm giving you exactly what you want without any risk. So element number 2 is risk reversal, removing the risk. For example, you could say, if this doesn't work, we'll give you a full refund. If this doesn't work, we'll work for you for free. If this doesn't work, you'll get our team to cover your ad spend until we make this work. That's element number 2. Element number 3 is the unique mechanism, introducing something new into your offer that makes your system work just a little bit better than everyone else. So for example, there's someone in the HighLevel group that figured out how to use dialog flow so that HighLevel actually follows up automatically with leads and has real live conversations. And I know the HighLevel team is going to be rolling that out over the next few months. If you're the first one to offer that, you can go into the marketplace and say, hey, the reason why this works so well is because we use dialog flow. We have a unique mechanism to make it work and follow up with your leads and get them scheduled. Everyone's going to want to get a piece of that. If I tell you, hey guys, I'm the first digital marketing agency that offers a call center to pick up the phone and call every single lead that gets sent to HighLevel after we generate the lead. And we work with dentists. We're the first ever marketing agency that does this. That's our unique mechanism. It's going to make it easier for dentists to say yes to me. They're like, oh, we've never tried that. We've tried Facebook ads with leads. We've never tried Facebook ads with leads in a call center. So the idea is we want to introduce a unique mechanism. The example that I gave is, for example, let's say that you guys have virtual assistants to follow up on HighLevel on behalf of the clients. You can say that the reason why we make this work so well is because we have software called HighLevel that we plug in our virtual assistant team into, and they follow up with all your leads and get them scheduled. For example, guys, no one is talking about marketing and Facebook ads that way. I've never seen any ad about, hey, chiropractors, we have a team of VAs that follow up and schedule all your leads using our proprietary software so that you never have to follow up with a lead again. No one's introduced that new angle. So if you guys can figure out a unique mechanism, it's going to be really, really powerful. You can also add urgency. For example, I'm going to give you guys a quick little hack that I share with my students. On your actual sales pitch, you can put a date and say, hey, if you sign up by December 4th, this Friday, you'll get this bonus. So again, you're making it easier for them to say yes by adding that level of urgency. All right, let's keep going. You can also bundle certain things. So for example, I have one of my really good friends. His name's Kyle. He's amazing at SEO. What he does is he tells the clients, hey, I'll actually run your Facebook ads for free if you sign up for my SEO services. So now they're getting 2 for 1. He's an SEO company first, but he was like, you know what, Joel, no one's buying SEO nowadays, or at least they're not buying it right out of the gate. So what he was thinking is, how can I give them exactly what they want while also providing what they need? And his offer was a bundle. He said, hey, I'll run your ads for free as long as you sign up for our SEO services. It's a win-win. And it's a lot easier for someone to say yes to. If I approached you guys and said, yo, I'm going to run your ads for free and you're going to get ranked in Google Maps, it's going to be easier for you to say yes to that than just Facebook ads, for example. So you can do a bundle. You guys can also add bonuses. For example, you could say, hey, for anyone that signs up by December 4th, we're also going to throw in a monthly reactivation campaign where we're going to go into your database every single month and reactivate all the people in your database. So that's another element that you guys can tap into. And ultimately, guys, the key is to add more value. Looking for ways to add more value by either promising more, removing risk, introducing a unique mechanism, bundling things together, having some bonuses in place, et cetera, et cetera. Now, to be honest, I could do 10 hours of training on offers. Like, there's people that have written books about this, and I did not want to get too into the weeds today. I wanted to just give you guys a 30,000 foot overview and then actually dive into creating an offer together. So you guys can essentially take action on it and keep it simple without overcomplicating it. But like I've been saying since day one, my goal here is to give you guys what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. So I still wanted to cover the high level overview so that you guys can understand and have a better conceptual understanding of offers and how they work and why people say yes to them. So, for example, if I tell you I'm going to get you 10 appointments in 30 days, or will work for you for free until we hit the 10 appointments, using proprietary software called HighLevel plus our team of trained virtual assistants that will follow up with all of your leads so that you don't have to lift a finger. And if you sign up by Friday, December 4th, you're also going to get 50% off your first month with us. After that, it goes up to our regular management fee. Plus, we're going to help you get ranked in the top 3 Google Maps pack for your keyword in your area. And we're going to throw in a monthly reactivation campaign so that all of the people that are already in your ecosystem that you haven't nurtured are going to come back into your business. If I could do all of that for you today, would you be interested? It's a pretty good offer. It's easier to say yes than I just do Facebook ads. That's a crappy offer. So with that in mind, let's see. Here we go. Let's talk about the best offers for beginners. Like I said earlier, you guys have to keep in mind that having a really powerful offer is like having training wheels on a bicycle. When you first ever ride a bicycle, you can't just ride it. You haven't earned the right to ride on your own. You have to earn that right. And first, we start with training wheels to support us. So at the beginning, we need more support. Our offer has to be better, or else no one's going to say yes to us. If I come out of nowhere into my niche and approach a chiropractor and tell them they have to pay me $10,000 for me to run ads to them, but I have no proof, no case studies, no references, they're going to have no reason to say yes to me unless I make it more irresistible. So at the beginning, it's really important to rely on the training wheels, to rely on the offer. And as you scale, and as you have case studies, and as you have social proof, and as you have results, and as you have referrals and references and people that will vouch for you, if you have an offer, awesome. It's going to make it easier for you, but you absolutely don't have to have an offer. Because at that point, your brand has taken over. And people are buying into you because of you, not because of the specific result that you're promising them. For example, people buy into Gary Vee and huge corporations pay him hundreds of thousands of dollars because of who he is. He doesn't need a special guarantee. They want to work with Gary. So if you have a lot of social proof, a lot of testimonials, a lot of case studies, a lot of word of mouth happening, you don't need to rely on a crazy offer as much. That being said, like Paulson said, if you can also do it, it's a no-brainer, because now you're going into the niche and saying, hey, not only do we have all these crazy case studies, we also can make you this amazing offer.
And also just want to add something to what you said, Joel. I know some of you in here are not necessarily all digital marketing agencies. Some of you are in here that came from an industry, you ran a franchise, or you're an SMB of some sort of an department or whatever it is, and then you learn marketing over the last little bit of time, and now you're like, you know what, I've got a marketing tool, I can go sell it. But here's what I would recommend. You running one location or a franchise does not make you an expert in the industry. I love you guys. I'm gonna tell you how it is. You're not an industry expert. You're a location expert of what you do. It works best for your team. And maybe you even got to 7-8 figures. It doesn't matter. You cannot assume that you can take the entire industry by storm, because what we're looking at when Joel's making this point, what he's talking about is your audience and the influence upon that audience, not necessarily just your expertise. So some of you that are in the franchise world and you're business owners, really look at the mirror and decide whether you really have that kind of a leverage. If you do, great. You're far ahead than most people. Take advantage of it however you can with your angles, right? But running a small business is not that different than running a marketing agency, right? So be careful of how you decide whether you're an industry expert or not, right? Maybe you have more connections for the first 10, 15, and then your leads die out. That's it. You've tapped out your ecosystem, right? So just wanted to make that point on the influence on your audience versus your expertise. So don't miss that. Thank you, Joel.
And guys, there's also a huge component of pricing, how it comes into play. That being said, I don't like to make better offers by making a really, really cheap service. One of my main philosophies has always been figure out how to add more value so that you can charge what you want instead of lowering the price to match your lack of value. So some people out there will say, hey, I'm going to take exactly what you do and sell it for $99 a month. That's fine. I personally, what Joel would rather do is figure out how to make it worth $2,500 a month and add value. So I did want to throw that in there just because price can also go in. That could also be an element of offer creation, but I don't like to rely on it. The only caveat, guys, is if you've been in the game for a month and you're charging a ridiculous amount that's above what the average agency charges in your niche, there's nothing you're going to be able to do to get someone to say yes. It's going to be really, really, really hard. So I would say to keep it really simple. This is kind of my general advice for most people. I like charging, if you're a beginner, anywhere between $1,000 to $1,500 a month, not including ad spend. And as you get more advanced, you can charge more around $2,500 a month. This is for local businesses. Now, again, if you add more value and you add a coaching program and you add all these things into it, you can charge even more. But just to give you guys something to be able to grasp in your mind of what it should cost, that's kind of my general answer. With that in mind, like I've been saying since day one, there's always outliers. There's always some special cases and special scenarios, but that's the point. So with that in mind, now that you guys got the 30,000 foot view of offer creation, let's actually go over my top 3 favorite offers for beginners. Does that sound good, guys? Yes?
I've probably seen every one of those ads, Joel, just so you know. all the obnoxious ads that you guys
Which
ever
one?
ran for your agencies.
I don't even know which ads I'm running with my face in them
Dude.
anymore. You know?
You've got new ads running every 40 days.
You know, it's like I mean, I have the whole team in place. So even for
Right.
my own personal ads, or even the email, sometimes I'm like, yo, Joel, I really like that email. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But anyways, here we go. Here's my top 3 favorite offers for beginners. Now, as you can see, there's not that much that goes into it compared to something like this, but we're also not asking for money in these offers. So there's a trade-off. First one that I like is a 30-day money-back guarantee, where you essentially tell the client, hey, if you follow our system to a T and do X, Y, and Z, if you didn't like what you got, we'll give you a full 30-day money-back guarantee on our management fee. It's very easy for people to say yes to, especially if you're a beginner. If you don't have any clients and you need some and you need to build momentum, you're going to need to have an offer that's easy for people to say yes to. And if you go into your niche and say, hey, if you don't like the results that you got in the first 30 days, as long as you followed our system to a T and followed through on what we said as the guidelines to succeed, you're eligible for money back. I don't know how many of you guys know Jeff Miller. He's in one of my programs, and I helped him create this offer for his niche, and it blew up. Now, again, he knew how to get really good results, so obviously a lot of them stayed through. There is a caveat here, but again, if you're a beginner and you don't have any clients, what you need is momentum, like we talked about on day 1. And it's better to have 10 people that are on your 30-day money-back guarantee offer than 0 people. Because out of those 10, let's say worst case scenario, only 3 stay on. Well, those 3 stay on. Now those 3 can refer more people. Now you have video testimonials. Now you have case studies. Now you can have a reference. Maybe you can even partner with one of the 3 and say, hey, can you be my main reference forever? And I will do your marketing for free. And now you've got a reference, and you'll never have to deal with the, can I speak with someone that's used the system objection ever again? So especially at the beginning, guys, you have to be willing to give more than you take. That's kind of the takeaway here. All of you guys want to take when you haven't earned the right to take. Even I did crazy offers at the beginning, and I had years of Google Ads experience, but I had never worked with chiropractors. I had never worked with dentists. So when I started out, I went and did free trials, and I would even tell people, you get the first 20 leads on us for free, then we start working together. So that's one that I like, 30-day money-back guarantee. The other one that I like for beginners, for people that have 0 clients, 7-day free trial. This is really more like a 3-day free trial and 4-day setup. So you make it really, really quick. You do 72 hours of actually running their ads. You make them pay for the ad spend. You get them crazy results. You do a lot of volume. So you ask for as much ad spend as possible. If you can get $1,000 for ad spend, do $1,000 in 3 days. And what's going to happen is you're going to overwhelm them with so many opportunities that they're going to be blown away, and they're going to want to continue working with you. That's the second offer that I really, really like for beginners. The third offer that I really, really like is the one that I'm going to show you guys today, which is database reactivation. So you essentially say to a business owner, hey, I'm going to get you set up on our database reactivation campaign. I'm going to help you land a ton of appointments from your existing audience for free. I'm going to get them booked. And then after I prove to you that we can do this and I can get you results, we'll start working together. Those are my top 3 favorite offers for beginners just starting out, so that, again, you can build momentum, get some experience, learn how to get results for people in your niche. And someone asked on day 1, what do I do if I don't know how to get results? Well, with an offer like this, it takes the pressure off of you. Because You're removing the risk from them. And you can even be honest. You can say, hey, I've never worked with Kairos, so I want to do this for you for free for 7 days. You can be very upfront and ethical and do things with integrity and honest about where you're at in your business and still have the opportunity to earn their business. So at the beginning, it's really important that you give more than you take to get people to say yes. Those are my top 3 favorite offers. And that's pretty much it on that. I will say one more thing in terms of offers in general before we actually dive into building one out and going over the high level offer. If you do something crazy, like for example, my agency does 20 patients in the door in 60 days. If you do something crazy, you also have to create a game plan that they commit to follow, because marketing is a two-way street. And the more that it relies on them, you also have to set very clear expectations and let them know, hey, if you want this crazy result, here's what I'm going to need you to do. So for example, if you do a 30-day money back guarantee where it's willy-nilly, they can back out at any time, you have to tell them, hey, for you to earn the right to back out at any time, I'm going to need you to follow up with every single lead that we send you at least 3 times. I'm going to need your front desk to call the leads within 15 minutes or 30 minutes. I'm going to need you to record your calls and follow our scripts to a T. So it's really important that you don't just throw a crazy offer and not protect yourself. And if they're like, well, why do I have to do all the work? Well, if you want this crazy thing, guess what? If it were easy, everyone would do it. So you're going to have to commit to what we have learned after working with so many chiropractors that's proven to work to get you that result. So
can I share something here? So
yeah,
one of the first times I tried this, I think it was like, I don't know, maybe 6-7 years ago. I hit up LinkedIn when nobody else was on LinkedIn, and I said, hey, I'm a student nearby in the college university. I'm learning marketing. I would like to send you a couple of leads and show you that I can do marketing. I delivered the results as far as leads are concerned. And guess what happened? I did not know how to set those expectations on the contingency of my offer, right? I should have said, hey, my offer is I'm going to get you 10 leads. After that, it's a step up for you to invest into $1,000 package or $2,000 package. But I failed to do that the very first time. And you know what this dentist told me? He was like, hey, man, yeah, cool. Nice job. And I'm like, wait, what? That's it? Like, you're just going to compliment me? What's next? And I'm like, I'm trying to earn your business. And he's like, well, you told me you're going to get me leads. And you did. And what else is there? And I'm like, well, we had an expectation. We had a contingency, which was if I do this, then that. And I learned the second time that I'm going to have it in writing. I'm going to let them know this is the actual offer, because what I had to do with that first person was enter into a new sales cycle. I don't want to enter into a new sales cycle. I want to stay in the first sales cycle that I came in with an offer, and I'm going to close this guy based on my first offer. Otherwise, I have to guess what? Hey, John, nice guy. Let's jump back on another Zoom call. Let's talk about marketing all over again. Oh yeah, sure. No problem. Talk to my secretary, schedule it. And I'm like, oh my God, I just lost a month. Because I didn't set the contingency of my first offer. So this is a slippery slope in how you present this.
Yes.
Just so you know.
You guys have to keep in mind, one of the biggest flaws in the marketing agency model is that it assumes that the business owner is really good at business. It assumes that, hey, if we just do what we need to do, they're going to get great results. But that's a huge error to make. And it's a huge assumption to make, because the reality is most business owners are bad at business. So if we're going to promise them something crazy, we also have to protect ourselves and help them level up to being a better business owner. That's why, for example, in my agency, I do a hybrid of marketing services and coaching to help them actually level up as business owners, so that then they can actually get the result that we promise. And that should be your ultimate goal. That's kind of like the dream of the agency space. If you can do really good marketing and also be a consultant and an advisor to your clients to help them level up so that they can actually thrive on your marketing services, that's the end goal. That's what I like to call the Tesla of agencies. So without getting too far into the weeds, let's see. Does that make sense so far, guys? Drop a 1 below if it does. If I'm losing you, drop a 2. I want to be, you can be honest with me. You don't have to just drop 1s out of love. If I'm losing you, drop a 2. Clear? Cool. All right. So first, let's go over the high level offer. Here's the one that we're actually going to teach you how to promote and roll out and build messaging for and build ads for. It's pretty powerful. It's going to be really easy for people to say yes, and for you to all set yourselves up to land a lot of clients, whether you're a beginner or advanced. So I wanted to make this offer so freaking awesome so that if you're a beginner or you're advanced, you can run this and get clients. So if you're just starting out, or if you're at 250K a month, you can still run this offer. And it's a really, really, really good offer in terms of getting people to say yes. So with that in mind, let's dive in. Go high level offer. Don't pay me a single dime. We'll set up your first database reactivation for free. We'll follow up with all the leads for free. We'll guarantee 10 appointments in 10 days with 0 ad spend. Once we send you those 10 booked appointments, we get started. Who wants to do it? If you approached a chiropractor and said, hey, Dr. John, here's what I'm going to do for you. I don't want any of your money. Let me just start there. So you might be thinking this is a sales pitch. It's not. I don't want any of your money. I don't want you to pay me a single dime until I prove myself. Here's what we're going to do, Dr. John. I'm going to get access to your database, and I'm going to set up a full database reactivation campaign for free. You don't have to pay me anything. Once we launch that campaign, I'm going to follow up with all your leads. And over the course of the next 10 days, I'm going to get you 10 booked appointments. That way you can see that this works. That way you can see that I'm not full of crap and I know what I'm doing. And once I get you the 10 booked appointments, then we get started. At that point, you'll have 2 options. You can either sign up just to the software to get access to the ongoing reactivation and follow-up for $297 a month or $499 a month, or I can also drive traffic for you and really give you our full-fledged marketing system for $1,500 a month. That being said, if you get started right now, here's the urgency, and we skip the 10 appointments in 10 days for free, I'll give you a sweet deal. If you just want to jump right in and skip that initial process. So, Dr. John, or actually Dr. Paulson, what do you say?
Let's get started, bro. You know what's funny is, like, we didn't even talk about this, Joel. This offer that you just
Dr.
talked
Paulson,
about.
what card would you like to put it on?
MasterCard or
Just
Visa,
kidding.
right?
No, we don't need a credit card. Like I said, you don't have to pay me a single dime. You just got to fill out an onboarding form. Does that sound fair?
What's funny?
Put your wallet away.
Dude, that is a no obligation offer. Like, what do you got to lose? If you're a business owner and you hear that, what do you got to lose? I'm going to get 10 new clients, customers, patients, visitors in my restaurant, whoever. I'm going to get more fish and chips sold in the next 10 days that I didn't even plan on, right? And the reason, Joel, I don't know if you know this, but at the high level agency in the beginning, when we decided to scale this a couple of years ago, one thing that Robin, Alex, I don't know if Robin's on here, but he can probably chime in. But one of the things that we weren't good at, we're so technical oriented, we weren't good at sales and marketing and prospecting. We were absolute garbage at it, right? So how do we scale to almost 400 plus clients? We partnered up with other sales agencies across the planet. We have about 4 or 5 essentially shell sales agencies that literally does all the marketing and sales for us. And guess what offer all those agencies run today? Is the one Joel talked about. It's the one Joel talked about. So even without me and him even talking about this, I already know this works because we're in almost every medical industry doing this with 4 other agencies who are sales partners. Now, I just let some top secret out of how we scaled it to some serious numbers. That's what it takes from 100 clients to 250 clients. And that's what it takes from 250 clients over to like, I think we're at like 440 or something like that today, right? But we could not have we can't climb outside of like 150 clients into any further without partnerships. It doesn't happen. So I don't want to go too far off on it, but this offer has worked across most first world countries, across at least 4 continents. I know for a fact because we run it right now.
Guys, this is like such a good offer. No one's going to say, I mean, you have to really be bad at sales to get someone to say no.
If they say
even if
no,
they're working with another
you.
Agency, you could say, hey, that's no problem. This is totally separate.
Exactly. If they say no to this offer,
put your wallet away. I don't want to see your wallet. Okay.
Right.
I just need you to fill out an onboarding form. What email should I send it to?
Joel, if I said no to this offer to you, what would be the biggest learning point for you on this as an agency offering this?
Like I said, guys, what did I say on day 1? What is the thing that all professional athletes in the world do that all entrepreneurs don't do?
Practice.
I would say get on a daily sales practice squad with 2 or 3 of your agency friends or marketing friends and review the call, figure out what you could have done better, and practice. You can go learn, that's fine, but you also have to, just like going to the gym and shooting the basketball. I can watch YouTube videos about basketball all day, but if I don't ever pick up the ball and shoot it, and then shoot it again, and then shoot it again, I'm not going to get better, no matter how knowledgeable I am about shooting. So
don't wear your 2-piece suits to talk to your landscapers, guys. I used to go into all these hospitals and clinics with scrubs on. I would wear scrubs with bun cakes, 19-pack bun cakes, and I would walk in and the gatekeeper always let me in. Never had a problem with scrubs on. Never.
So,
Look
guys,
like your client.
Guys, just to clarify, when I say 0 ad spend with database reactivation, we're going to go over what that looks like. And I'm sure Paulson's done trainings on it. And I'm sure we could do a whole follow-up class on after the 10 days on how to do a really successful database.
Chase has done hours of this. I'm not the technical guy.
Okay, well, with database reactivation, you essentially get access to all their emails and phone numbers, and you can reactivate them through HighLevel by doing email blasts and text blasts. You essentially pick up low-hanging fruit. That's the idea. And if they don't have enough people in their database, guess what? That's a perfect segue into your official pitch, which is, well, if you don't have that, you know, that's kind of a red flag. Is there a reason you don't have more people in your database? And that would make them feel a little bit concerned, and that get them to feel like that drop in their stomach of like, oh, maybe there's something wrong here. And then I would offer them running ads for them for $1,500 a month to solve that problem. So it's a win-win, because if they do have a lot of, here's where this is genius. If they have a lot of people in their database, it's going to be easy to get the 10 appointments. If they don't have a lot of people in their database, it's going to be easy to sell them on running ads for them to fill up their database, because they have a real problem.
I see some of the comments and questions that are coming through the chat, guys. Some of you need to go back and watch the mindset section on the day 1, right? There is a mindset thing when it comes to these things. You cannot walk in and just ask a random prospect, hey, let me see your database along with your social security number and your wife's address and your entire finances. That's what you're asking. They're not going to give it to you, right? Nobody in their right mind's going to give it to you. My angle is always, hey, Robbie, nice to meet you. I like to do a retention campaign for your existing customers. And that's it,
guys.
And let them do it. Let them do it themselves on a Zoom call if they have to. Don't even take the data. For those of you that are in, industries that are sensitive on data, don't overthink this, guys.
I will say this, guys. Someone said this doesn't work with businesses that are one-time customer cycle. you're looking at it extremely short-sighted. And I'm calling you out with compassion. I'm calling you out with love, and because I care about you and your success. Instead, you should ask yourself, how can I make it work for a business that only has one-time customer cycle? For example, you could do the exact same process of database reactivation, but to get Google reviews. If you get someone 50 Google reviews in the span of a week, they're going to love you forever. You're going to trigger their ego. They're going to feel really good about themselves. They're going to get all this love from people that have never left a review. And I've done database reactivations. This is one of the bonuses that we offer. And we've gotten at Cairo over 100 Google reviews in a week. And they love us. They're just like, oh my God. And the reason why is because you're triggering all the feel good emotions. Like when people say good things about you guys, you feel good. Imagine if you get 100 people to say good things about you guys. Then you say, well, look, this was just Google review. Imagine what I can do for you with our main marketing system. This was just Google review. This is easy. You're going to be blown away. So instead of saying this doesn't work for my niche, or if they don't have 100 leads, I can't do the reactivation. Ask yourself, how can I make this work? How can I level up as an entrepreneur to make this work instead of just hitting a dead end and saying this doesn't work for me? Like I said on day one, guys, I'm not here to spoon feed you. And the danger of giving you guys specific offers like the Go High Level offer that I just made is that it is in a way spoon feeding you. So if you don't know how to make it work, you hit a dead end. But like I said on day one, you have to take ownership and figure out how to level up to make it work. And I know that's harsh, guys, but I say it with love. I truly say it with compassion and wanting to see you guys win, because most other people would tell you what you want to hear and say, okay, well, use this offer instead. But that's just waiting to not work, because the moment that you hit another roadblock, you're going to say, oh, this doesn't work for me. So with that in mind, let me just finish up for today and we'll do some Q&A. This is the Go High Level offer. If I'm starting out and I have high level, and there's already so much training, like Paulson said, on how to do reactivation. So it's just a really easy one to get support from the high level team on how to get results for it. If it doesn't work, it didn't cost anything to the business owner. So let's say that it doesn't work and you couldn't reactivate all the people in their database. You didn't get them the 10 appointments. Well, guess what? Now you got experience talking to someone in your niche. Now you got to learn more about the niche. Now you got experience using high level and actually doing marketing with a business owner and actually promoting someone. So this is it's risk-free. You're not actually using ad spend. So for beginners, it's really, really solid. And if you're advanced, then you should know how to do reactivation and get really good results. So if you're advanced, it's a very easy way to have a lot of conversations with people in your niche where you can quickly win them over and turn them into paying clients. For example, when COVID hit, our entire marketing campaign was, we'll do a Google review campaign for you for free to build goodwill in the marketplace and to speak to as many Kairos as possible during that time. And we got so many booked appointments from it. And some people didn't continue with us after the Google review campaign. Some people did. But with that in mind, we used it as a way to get so much momentum and be able to grow from that foundation. Paulson, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I mean, we did a couple of things that are similar in the middle of COVID. So remember, when the landscape is changing, right? Just because COVID happened, or like right now, we just finished Thanksgiving. We're going into Christmas and New Year's. You should be thinking of ideas if you're a true marketer on how you're going to leverage that landscape of holidays. Oh,
genius.
Right?
That's
Dude,
genius.
like
Easy. Database reactivation you could do a holiday special for
Correct.
the gym or the chiro or the dentist or the HVAC owner. You could even, if you're in a niche, like I said, that doesn't have repeat customers, you can do the Google review campaign, for example, and say, hey, we're doing this crazy Google review campaign special to celebrate during the holidays, you know?
Yeah, we did this even with like our account managers would flag us. Hey, Paulson, guess what? I've got a feeling this client's gonna probably cancel for some odd reason, right? We feel like they're gonna cancel. We don't know why. We got leads, but they're not converting, blah, blah, blah. Guess what happens? I have my sales rep calling them first thing before they even reach out to me. And guess what we do? Hey, we feel like you're struggling a little bit with marketing. We want to do well for you. Can we run a reactivation campaign with no cost? This won't even be part of the retainer. And matter of fact, we'll credit you 50% to the next month until you catch up. That's better than them canceling on you and then you just finding out.
And
right?
guys, let's
get creative. Get creative.
Let's say you're in a niche like real estate, where a lot of them are one-time customers. You could do a reactivation campaign saying, hey, do you know anyone that is looking to buy or sell a home right now? If you introduce me or make a connection, I'll give you X, Y, or Z bonus. Send you a $100 Amazon gift card. Like, we can get creative with it. And that's just one that I came up with right now. But like I said on day 2, every niche has pros and cons, right? So you're going to have to figure out what works for your niche. And if this specific offer for some reason doesn't work, you can do other things as well. You can do the 7-day free trial where you do run ads for them. You could do the money back guarantee. You also don't have to do this offer. So with that in mind, to finish off today, I did want to build an offer out so you guys can see kind of how I would think about it. Who wants to drop a niche below? Someone drop a niche below. Ecom, Cairo, used car dealer. Okay, those are the 3 I'm going to do. First 3. Let's do e-commerce. Big promise. 20% increase in ROAS in 60 days. Or your money back. Maybe the unique mechanism is that you do a combination of YouTube ads and Facebook ads using our YouTube plus FB integrated system. And as a bonus, we will also do holiday email marketing. You could say, hey, our email marketing is a whole other division for ecom, but given the fact that we've got Q4 and we've got the holidays coming up, we're also going to do some holiday email marketing for free to really help you squeeze the juice out of everything that we do. Let's see. What was the other one? Cairo. Let's see. This is the one that I do.
Hey, some of you that are asking, how can I find the other agencies and figure out an offer? Remember, your ultimate feedback is going to be from your clients, not other agencies. You leverage other agencies and collaborate with them or compete with them for ideas, but your ultimate offer, your biggest offer whisperer is going to be your client.
Ooh, that's gold. That's good.
My client's going to tell me what they want. We actually used to do a name your package offer. We would literally get on a call with anybody and say, hey, we're new in the industry, just to get us going, and we want to partner up with you. We would like for you to just tell us what would help us make this decision together today. What do you want? Our normal fees is $2,000, but we're going to let you name our price for the first month. They would say, oh, let's just try it out for $400.
That's a great offer.
Better than a damn trial.
You know how what is that called where people can pick how much they want to
a la carte?
It's not a la carte. It's like when you can decide how much you want to pay for a service.
Name your price.
Is that what it's called? That's a great offer. It's easy to say yes to. That's the whole point, guys. We don't have to overcomplicate this. I know I give you guys a lot of elements. The key here is, how do I add more value and how do I make it easy for people to say yes to me? That's it. Don't overcomplicate it. Oh,
Yeah.
the crazy thing about us is that you actually decide how much you want to invest based on the value that you see here today. Obviously, minimum of 500. The top people, you can say something like the top people pay us $3,000 a month. The minimum is 500. Most people choose a sweet spot of about $1,500 a month. You get to pick. That's such a cool offer. Whoever mentioned that was great. Or I don't know if it was Paulson, but
That was Peter.
That's a really good offer. Who's going to say no to that? Plus, there's like an element of fun and excitement and choose your own adventure. So that's a great example, guys, of taking what I'm showing you and making it your own. I have never had that thought of doing a choose your own adventure type of offer. That has never been an idea that I've had.
Dude, we did it for almost like 6-7 months. We did with a lot of our agencies. We would just say, but the contingency was, it's just the first month, buddy. We're not doing free business. It's just the first month. First month is my contingency. And if we do deliver what we say we deliver, then we're going to cut off all marketing. If you don't make this decision, we have other partners we're waiting to go, right?
Yeah. So guys, I think I do have to get going, but to wrap today up, hopefully you guys learned some principles behind how to make a powerful offer. Key takeaways is make it easier for people to say yes to you, figure out ways to add more value. And like I said, I'm not a big fan of spoon feeding, but for the sake of being able to keep going over the next 10 days or the next 7 days with you guys, we did need to pick one offer, and this is the one that we're going to roll with. So the whole idea is that the way that we're going to get appointments over the next 7 days is by reaching out to business owners and telling them, hey, gym owner John, I don't want you to pay me a single dime. I actually want you to put your wallet away right now. I'm going to set up your first database reactivation or Google review campaign. We could also do that one for free. I'm going to follow up with all the leads for free. That way you don't have to lift a finger. And I'm actually going to get you 7 appointments in 7 days or 10 appointments in 10 days. And we're going to do it with 0 ad spend. So the best part is you don't have to pay me or Facebook or YouTube or Instagram or Google or anyone else. And after we get you those 10 appointments and I've proved myself to you and you are loving the results, because after 10 appointments, you're going to be like, Joel, send me more right now. We're going to get started at $1,500 a month. Now, I did say put your wallet away, but if you want to take it out, gym owner John, if for some reason you want to take your wallet out right now, I will offer you a $500 discount if we just jump right in. But if you want to get the 10 appointments first to see that this works, I'm more than happy to do that as well. Which option sounds best to you, gym owner John?
Yo, before Joel jumps off, give us a one if you found today like super valuable. And I know I'm getting messages left and right, but Joel, I know you may have to jump off and you got a hard cutoff in like 5-6 minutes, but I'll stay on until 3:30 to just do Q&A, and just like we did yesterday. But Joel, if you're down for it, can we go through some of the questions and you can field it first?
Yeah, I have another meeting in 20 and I need about 10 minutes to prepare. So I have about 10 minutes.
Okay, cool. Let's go with, so appreciate all of you engaging all the way through, guys. All these things that we're sharing with you guys, it's from actually building agencies. It's actually doing the work. It's actually picking up the phone calls. It's actually walking in with cupcakes. It's actually putting the sweat equity in and figuring out and building teams to scale those teams. After doing all those types of activities over the last 5-6 years is where guys like Joel and myself can come tell you, you don't have to do this the hard way. There is a easy way to get to this, right? And we built an agency that's traditional. We weren't even niche down. We had like 12 different industries with 500 different services. And I know how hard it was to get to this point versus when I see students of Joel that's following his systems and I'm like, dude, these guys are scaling to 50, 60K in 3 months. I don't get it. What are we doing so different? And that's how me and Joel even got connected in the beginning. We're like,
you gotta join to find out. No pitching.
but it's real. It's real. There's actually a right way to do this. But let's go with Mr. Stevenson and his question. Joel, if you want to field that.
Where's that one?
Can I speak? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello, Joel.
Hey.
Joel?
Oh, I see you now. Cool.
Yeah, cheers. Just two quick questions. The first one, you said fish and chip shops was probably too small and niche. There's 10,500 shops in the UK. Would you still say that's too small? And secondly, you nearly answered the question, but if you go to a customer and they haven't got a database, you said to create a Facebook ads to get a database going.
Yeah,
Is there anything else you would advise? Like put a flyer on the counter for the customers to take away. They could enter the details in, and then the business can build up a database that way.
Yeah, it's a great question. Appreciate you being here. First things first, if you just picked the niche and you picked restaurants, because of COVID, I would probably revisit. I should have said this yesterday, but this advice normally doesn't apply, but we are living in a crazy world right now. And I just want to throw that out there. Like there's better niches right now than restaurants.
It's sort of takeaway, fish and chips takeaway, and they're all open in the UK. That we can stay open.
So you guys are open, like?
Yeah, we're open. Takeaways are open all the way through.
I would still say no, Mick, to be honest.
Right. Fair enough.
10. The thing is this, let's look at progression. Let's look at you at 10 clients. How would you scale this thing with the sales team? You only got 10,000 people to tap into.
Right.
Yeah, I would say it probably misses the one of the rules that I said yesterday, which was you're going to have to get them 1,000 clients for it to make sense for them to pay you. So I would say that's one of the niches, like nail salons, restaurants, niches where there's such a small, like
small
barbershops.
Yeah.
You would have to get them so much volume every single month forever for it to make sense. So the only way to make this work, like for example, I don't know if you guys know Jordan Key and Katie White. I was like, guys, you need to shift your offer into a coaching program for beauty pros, because if they're paying you $1,500 a month, every single month they're gonna drop. They're not making that much back. So they switched their entire model into a $3,000 coaching program just one time. But that's more advanced. Like you have to be ready to coach someone too. So you can't jump into that offer as a beginner. You have to be advanced. So there are ways to make the restaurant niche work. There are ways to make those niches where you have to get thousands of clients for them work, but you have to be a little bit more advanced. And if you're just starting out, I would probably go after an easier niche where you only need to get them 10 clients for it to make sense. For example, let's say you do the 10 appointments in 10 days. If you could get them an ROI, that'd be amazing. But let's say you do a database reactivation for a restaurant, like you'd have to get them a lot of clients for them to be really wowed. So,
hey guys, raise your hand if you have a question and I'll go through the list.
As far as I do want to, this is a question that applies for everyone. What if they don't have enough emails and phone numbers in the database to do reactivation? Great question. This is where you can either pitch them on running ads, so your main service, or this is where you can say to them, well, you know what? I can still do this crazy offer, but the only caveat is I need you to cover the ad spend over the 7-day trial or the 10-day trial. So for example, let's say that you go to a gym owner, they just started out, they're brand new. They're like, oh, I thought this reactivation campaign could work. And you're like, no, you got to reactivate people. You don't have anyone. So here's what I can do for you, gym owner John. You invest into Facebook, $500. Doesn't go to me, it goes directly to Facebook. I can even show you the receipt. Goes straight to Mark Zuckerberg. And I'll still guarantee the 10 appointments in 10 days. We can still set up HighLevel for you and still follow up with the leads. And after the 10 days, we'll get started. That's one option that you can do. if they don't have a database. So the first attempt, what I would do is try to actually sell them. If that doesn't work, I would just offer them a trial or the 30-day money back guarantee. And again, if you are more advanced, you don't have to give as much. So for example, my agency would never tell someone that we would do a 7-day trial if they don't have a database. If they don't have a database, we'll say, sorry, we can either work together or you got to go and get a database. So the more advanced you are, remember, the less you have to give because you've earned the right to charge more and have higher standards. But at the beginning, I would try to still do some sort of trial.
Thank you, Mick. Let's go with Waqar Ahmed, or yeah, I think that's how you say your name.
Thank you so much, Paulson.
Hey.
Yeah, that's right.
Yo, yo.
Yeah, thank you so much for the session. All right, so I have 2 questions. So the first one, which I think everybody is asking is, how many people we need to be in the database? Maybe the better way would be what conversion rate we should be expecting, maybe out of 1,000.
Depends
So that
on
is
it.
More than 10. You need more than 10 people.
It just depends on the niche, right? Like for example, chiropractor is a service that you can stop doing and then come back at any time. Whereas for example, a dentist, you might come back, you might need a nudge, but it's not like you can just come back at any point in time to a dentist. A realtor, that's something that they have a lot of leads in their pipeline. So they have a lot of people that are just sitting there and they're waiting. So that might work, but it also takes a little longer. And therefore you might need a lot more people. So the answer is that it really just boils down to your niche. Talking about restaurants, like if you have an email list for your restaurant, you don't need many people because that's something that people could just come in and get food the day of. If Chipotle sends out an email to their list saying free Chipotle today, everyone's going to go. If a dentist sent out an email to their list, doesn't mean that everyone's going to go get a teeth cleaning. So again, I wish I could give you, I would say at least 100, just to give you something.
Yeah, one of the things we used to ask is the age of the database. Have you ever reactivated this before? Is this 5 years old? Did you scrape this and download this from somewhere? Or is it really yours? If it's too old and they've never done with it, they don't even have a monthly newsletter notification going out, we almost consider it that it doesn't even exist.
Yeah, and I would say you can also, guys, this is where you can protect yourself. You can say, hey, you only have 100 people. To qualify for the 10 appointment guarantee, we need at least 1,000. I can still run the reactivation campaign, no problem, but I can't guarantee that we're going to get you the results that you're after. So that's another option, guys. Remember, one of the biggest mistakes most marketing agencies make is that they assume that the business owner is ready to really squeeze the juice out of your marketing. And the reality is most business owners aren't prepared. So you have to set those expectations and educate them on that. Let's say they have if they're like, well, I only have 50 people in my database, why can't you guarantee results? You should educate them on why that's impossible. It doesn't mean that you can't do it, and you might get them 1 or 2 appointments or 3 appointments, but you should also protect yourself.
Yeah. Also, Waqar, you asked about conversion rate. That's too early. Like you shouldn't even worry about conversion rate before you even go out and do any sales and prospecting. Even after ads are running, how much does it really matter? Right?
Yeah, and I would say, guys, if you go back to day 1, we talked about taking the first step, setting and closing appointments, not being reactive more than proactive, taking action, waiting for things to happen, then taking more action. Like I could sit here and we could predict the conversion rate for every single niche on the planet and how many emails you would need. But the best way that you'll ever find out is by going out and doing this for 10 people in your niche. You're going to know way better than all of us here how to actually make a database reactivation work.
Steve or Chambo, let's go with you, my man. If you guys want us to field any Q&A questions, just click on the reactions and I think you can raise your hand and we'll go through that. Joel, you got to go, right?
I got to run. Appreciate
Okay,
you
buddy.
guys.
Great
For sure,
training.
buddy.
Make sure to tag us in stories if you haven't already. Would really appreciate that. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for scraping.
Thank you, sir. So
Peace out.
I'll take on a few questions before we jump off as well. I'm going to stay on for another 10 minutes if that's okay. Steve, go ahead, buddy.
How you doing, my man?
Pretty good.
Good. Hey, quick question. So if your niche is chiropractors or whatever it may be, how do you handle like exclusivity? So if I've got 15 chiropractors in my local area and I'm marketing for all of them simultaneously, targeting customers in that area.
Who told you it mattered?
Well, I guess, well, based upon my experience, I've had, doing marketing in the past, I've had business owners want to be exclusive. Because if you're going to be marketing to the same area at the same service, or maybe that's not a challenge.
It doesn't. If you're, it's not a challenge. If you're running the same exact creative with the same exact offer, with the same exact reputation and branding around it, then yeah, I can see how if you're within like a 1 or 2 mile radius, it would matter. Even then, I would still run it to see what kind of performances happen. Because guess what? People pick 2 dentists and 2 chiropractors in the same shopping complex. We don't do exclusivity at the HighLevel agencies. We never thought it mattered, and we've handled millions of dollars in advertising spend. Now, if you're running the same exact campaign, I can see how that can throw things off a little bit. Even then, it's a misconception in most industries for what I feel. If you're now, here's where it would matter. If you went into a small little town in the middle of Kentucky with 5,000 people, and then in that scenario, there's 15 chiropractors, then I would say select the ones that are further apart just to make life easier for you, because you're going to tap into the same 5,000 people. I could understand how that would be a bit more sensitive, but if you're starting out or you're a beginner in any way, shape, or form, take the layups. Stop shooting threes and half-court shots, guys. Take the layups, right? The layups are going to be, hey, this guy has better reputation when I look at the reviews versus that guy. If I go to a chiropractor and his reviews are ugly, why would I want to do marketing for this guy? I'm going to struggle keeping his patients anyway, right? So look at these things, but I would say it doesn't matter as much as people think, Steve. If you're running the same exact creatives with the same color, same headings, same offers, but if you have the same offer, 2 different creatives, it's not going to matter that much. And we've done a lot of advertising, Steve. I can tell you firsthand.
Perfect.
I've got clients in the same office that we're running.
So I'm assuming because I'm new. Okay. So I am new to this space, and so I'm assuming that you would start in your own backyard, but in order to scale, this is nationwide.
I recommend even worldwide. If I'm working nights and I know Australian clients are up, I'm going there because that's my hours, right? So it doesn't, the cool thing about marketing in this online space is it's all online. So, if you understand that market, you can really do well. So I don't believe in the idea of, let me create this local presence. And I try to do that. I'm here in Texas. People are pretty friendly. I would walk into BNI's and Chamber of Commerce and Cufflings and blah, blah, blah. Found myself doing crap load of appointments. And all I got was a bunch of receipts for all the burgers I ate. no clients, right? So it doesn't, local presence is not, it's an illusion. If you are a big traditional agency like ourselves, we were doing print media, radio ads, car wraps, billboards. Like we would do literally anything and everything related to marketing. And for us, we were part of the Dallas social media. There was something. I think Robin was like the VP of one of the organizations. But even then, like clients don't come just because we're locally there. Right? You're much better off. Instead of you talking to 20 people at a BNI, you're better off sending 20 emails to 20 people anywhere. I truly think you don't have to have a local presence to build this business. Steve,
Awesome.
hopefully
Thank you,
that
sir.
helps. Yeah, man.
Yes.
Raheem. Rahim, let's see. I don't know how to say your last name.
Hey, Paulson.
Hey.
Thanks for a great session. That was amazing.
For sure. Gotta watch the replays if you weren't here.
Yeah, I'm definitely doing that.
Okay.
So my question is, I'm really excited about the database reactivation idea, with Google reviews, and I have some ideas on how to implement it. But I want to know, does Go HighLevel provide any templates, or no? Okay, all right, that's fine. I'll figure it out.
No.
And-
Yep. I mean, remember, if you just probably post in the Facebook group, somebody's going to probably reach out to you and pitch you on something, but there might be something good there that you got to actually take a look at. So most people are, they have some good stuff to offer. So I would say, figure out what those templates are. But honestly, when we first did our DBRs, we would simplify this down. I would literally get on a Zoom call. Like, remember, we had HighLevel before HighLevel was out. We had to figure this.
What's the DBR? Sorry.
So database reactivation,
Oh,
which is the text campaign. Before we had to kind of prove this, before we told other agencies, we would simply just get on a Zoom call with the business owner and just tell them, hey, we've got a texting system. What do you want it to say? They would be writing for the next 30 minutes of what they think they're. Justin Pena, you there, right? Last time we talked, how simplified did I make those campaigns for you, just randomly, right? You see how
very conversational,
right? So Justin initially with his DVR, he had this huge, long copy of everything that ever happened with this business and why they should come, links. I mean, it was loaded. I would call it fully loaded. It was loaded.
All with custom values.
And then what do we end up doing, Justin? Let's talk about it just real quick, just to help people if you're okay with it.
Yeah. We just cut all that out, started from scratch with just 3 text messages. I think originally it was.
What were the words? What were the words of your sequence, if you remember?
Yeah, the very first one is, "Hey, is this contact's first name?"
That's it.
Just like
that was
words, it. First text.
That was it. And that was from a huge long copy of why they should buy the services. And we went to, hey, contact first name, comma, hey, is this George? Hey, is this Travis? Hey, is this Peter? Because guess what? I will get a text message from somebody that I haven't talked to in just like that. That's how I interact on my text messages, right? Hey, who is this? How the hell do you have my number? This is private number. Nobody should have my number. That's what I used to feel. And that's what these people are going to feel on behalf of your clients, right? Hey, Eric, ? Who the heck is this? That's what they should feel. That's good marketing, right? And then you tell them, hey, this is Eric from XYZ business. You came in, wanted to just get your feedback on your experience. That's it, right? Hey, just so you know, I don't want to be too salesy, but would love to invite you in for a consultation for dental implants. And I would literally write, don't want to be too salesy. What does that do to a human being? I don't want to be too salesy. It just humanizes the message, right? We're all creatures of our environment, meaning how we absorb is how we really decide on things, right? So I want to read messages that I feel like my wife just texted me. I want to read the message from the dentist as if my wife went into the clinic and messages to me. Like, I'm like, oh crap, I don't want to miss my appointment and piss her off, right? So like, okay, let me just jump in, get that done. That's what I should feel from my copywriting. Does that make sense, Raheem?
Yeah, it's amazing. I love it.
Cool. Awesome.
Thank you.
Rudy without a last name.
Hello, this is Rudy without a last name.
What's up, buddy? What's going on?
I know you're not a very techie guy, but when we are trying to do a lot of emails and we use Mailgun or any other thing, like it doesn't let you just go ahead and send 10,000 emails. So for example, if one client has 10,000 clients, how do you manage? If you know, or where can I see that information or something like that?
Well, for this context, for prospecting and sales, right? If a client has a database that's too big, I would take it and slice it up, and I'll say, Eric, guess what? We're just going to reactivate this so we can show you that you can trust us.
Okay.
That's it. I'm not making it any harder than that. I'm not worried about my domain. I'm not worried about my mailgun stuff, my Twilio stuff. Give me 500 people out of your 50,000 database, buddy. The most recent 500, give me them. That's what I want to talk to, right? So don't go in and choose something that you can bite something that you can chew, right? That's my take on it. And then remember, our systems, Mailgun, all these guys, they all have throttling, so only a certain amount of messages go out anyway because of regulations and all of that. But when it comes to prospecting, once you're done with the 10K stuff, when you do prospecting at scale, I don't recommend you using HighLevel for prospecting at all. And if you're sending less than 12 to 1,500 emails a day, if you're doing less than that, you're not really prospecting.
Mm-hmm. True.
That's not enough volume. You need to be at that volume to do good prospecting in a good market. That goes back to our fish and chips conversation. 10K, my guy will run that through in 4 hours. That's not enough of a database for me to build a sales department around, right? So pick an industry that's saturated enough, that's big enough, so you have enough going for the long haul. Hopefully, Rudy, that helps. Any follow-up to that, or you're good? No,
it's good. It's good. It was just a question. Maybe you had it because we've been dealing with that, and Mailgun just shut you off.
Yeah. Even when we're doing ongoing DBR, we only do a total of 700 to 1,000 if we're using HighLevel. We don't go above that. So we don't do mass DBRs, right? It's just too risky, especially if you have an agency account and you have all your sub accounts in there. Oh man.
Exactly.
It's not friendly if one of it goes down.
Hey, pausing real quick.
Yeah, let's hold on 1 second. Oh, Robbie, go ahead.
Yeah, just a follow up to that. With the 1,200 number, are you using Joel's strategy that he had from Jeff Miller with the multiple emails? Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Jeff Miller. I mean, a lot of people. That's the latest of today. Like they call it the, I don't know, the BCC method or something like that. But essentially the idea is for you to take, well, I don't want to ruin it. I'll wait for Joel to talk about it if he is, but idea is to create like 100 Gmail accounts and have VA send 5 to 10 a day from each account, thus creating this mass volume of outbound email without getting flagged. Now, how do you do that at scale? You got to have people. You can't do it by yourself. So, like with our agency, we've had VAs that are just cold emailers, 5-6 of them for one closer, 5-6 of them for one closer. That's literally the seesaw that we went back and forth with. But yeah, it is that, Robbie.
Wilson, could I jump in?
Yeah. So Howard, I was going to have you go next because you raised your hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
and then after you, I'll go with Pavel, if that's right. And then we'll take 1 or 2 more after that. 3:35. We're good. Go ahead.
Okay. My question is, if we're doing the DBR for the client, where are we going after that? Are we charging them, excuse me, a monthly fee for a DBR each month? Or are we then talking about, upselling them to a bundle of services?
So consider this being an offer, meaning this is your foot in the door.
Yeah.
This is not the core service you should provide, right? This is just the foot in the door, right? My main course is gonna be new leads, not old leads. How do I get new leads? I'm gonna have a guy standing outside and the traffic light signal that says www.chiropractortoday.com. I don't care what the traffic is. I don't care what the platform is, whether it's Facebook, Google, Snapchat, TikTok, LinkedIn, organic, print media, mailers. I don't care. I'm going to get you new leads. That's what you're paying for. That's how I sell.
Well,
Because
because they're, like Mike Cooch, I'm involved with Mike Cooch's program,
Uh-huh.
and he sort of takes some of the different functionalities of high level and bundles them into services. So in other words, it's a lead response management. You could do the call recording, call tracking, missed call text back, things like that, and sells them a bundle of services for like $300 a month, as opposed to, lead generation, which, would be Facebook leads or Google, whatever it is. And that's going to be a lot higher of a management fee, and it's more results based as opposed to SaaS based.
Yeah, so Howard, so I'm glad you brought this up, even though it's out of context on what we talked about in some sense. But I want to unpack this, because this is really important of what's going to happen over the next couple of years with high-level agencies, right? Why are we saying consider SaaS as an option? Why is that, right? Why are we not saying just do Facebook ads and Google ads and websites and all of that all day long and crank those out? Why are we out of nowhere saying SaaS has a say, right? The reason why is because most digital marketing agencies are not sellable businesses. We're not. We're dependent on one or two people. We're a solopreneur driven business for the most part. If I'm an acquisition company, one of the last businesses I would look at today is digital marketing agencies. You know why? We have something called churn, right? Facebook ads, like you said, results driven. Tomorrow, if Zuckerberg turns something down, we're all out. Right? There's no predictability there from a acquisitions perspective. There isn't. It's not a good, healthy business. And if you can't keep a client or a customer, it's not a real business. It's just an operation system that leaks revenue. That's what it is. And throughout that leak, you can stay profitable, make 10, 15,000, 50, 100K. Sure, nice and dandy. But tomorrow, clients are going to cancel. So when we look at a lot of the agencies, so there's a gap between the agencies. So we're seeing a lot of high-level agencies that are absolutely in the elementary level of business. And then we're seeing some mega agencies, right? So on Level Up Day, and I know this is context out of the 10K challenge, right? Or the workshop. On the Level Up Day, Sean talked about, hey, there's 5-6 agencies that are powering through this thing. And when we look at them, we're seeing that they have a SaaS offer that is absolutely separated from their marketing agency offers, right? How do you play that in? So let's say, Eric, what industry are you in, buddy? Nordstrand.
Howard, you talking to me or are you talking to?
No, I was just picking somebody. But what industry are you in, Howard or Eric? One of y'all.
Roofers.
Roofers, okay. If you were to charge $2,000 to a roofer and you don't get results, you're out of that $2,000, and now you've staffed up for that $2,000, right? Whether it's through outsourcing through myself with Marketplace or a freelancer, doing it yourself, it doesn't matter. You've resourced it. Now, if you lose that client, now you're in the negatives, right? So with SaaS, if you have enough people, let's say I go into a roofer and they tell me, hey, Paulson, your price is a bit too high. I'm not comfortable just yet. Oh, no problem. You want to buy my system instead? That's SaaS.
Yeah, well, from what I've been hearing in the industry, the churn on basic retainer-based agency is like 30 to 90 days. Or less.
Yeah, it depends, but most average is about 3.5 to 4 months, right? And we keep clients longer because we have multiple services. It's hard for them to just cancel all the services at once, right? So there's two places that I truly think all 60 of you, I really, really appreciate you staying on. This is going to give you a lot of value of what I'm about to tell you. Out of anything, get this, okay? All 60 of you, there's 2 times when you can actually sell SaaS offers. Since we're talking about offers, right? One is in the beginning. Hey, Eric, glad you're on. I understand that you're not comfortable with this investment of $2,000, but I like to just set up my system for you, and you can manage it yourself at $200 a month. All you have it. I'll show you. We'll do one Zoom call with my account manager or myself. We'll set it up for you. You can run a monthly retention campaign. Keep it all yours. Matter of fact, I'll turn on this reviews feature, and you can even monitor your reviews on top of that. Oh, by the way, there's two-way text message in there. And if you want to just set up a couple of campaigns, you can do that. That's my SaaS offer. When does that happen? In the beginning, when they tell me I'm too expensive for my marketing services, right? The second time I'm going to sell SaaS is, oh, Eric, I don't know what it is, but we just can't crack the code on your industry, man. The local city has been super tough. We tried all these offers. Your budget was kind of tight, but we made it work. I'm telling you, some of you guys are laughing because this is actual conversations that happen. But as soon as they tell me, hey, I want to go ahead and cancel at the end of the month, you know what? Not a problem. Since we did generate some sort of results, I want to just give you at least our system. Okay, our system's going to cost you $200 a month. Matter of fact, Eric, you remember those offers that we used to run? You can actually run those yourself without Facebook or Google, especially if you have a database that we have already built out for you, right? Run it yourself, $200 a month. And that's two separate port of entry and port of exit that I'm actually selling SaaS. In the beginning, I don't recommend you selling SaaS right out of the gate. If you're brand new and never done marketing, you know what the problem is of you selling SaaS is? Odds are you don't know how they operate. Odds are you don't know what offers actually work. Odds are you have to have the client give you the marketing messages. Odds are you may not be that savvy, kind of like myself when it comes to this technology stuff. Like I'm literally putting in my own support tickets to my own team next door. Like it's just not my favorite thing, right? So in the beginning, I would say get comfortable and sell your marketing services. That matters. My first 5 clients, I want to sell Facebook ads, Google ads, website. And as soon as I realize, oh, these are the offers that actually make sense, I'm going to now push my SaaS offer. You guys understand why I wanted to take 5-10 minutes and explain this, because we're in this conversation. I know we're doing 10K challenge and workshop, but Howard, thank you for bringing that up. But you guys understand how I would sell SaaS now, right? This makes more sense, right? Because going back to our acquisition conversation, now, because I have the SaaS offer, my churn elevates. Slowly, it's slow. $100 a month. Oh man, this guy's got to pedal faster. Oh, $200. Oh, 400. But in a year worth of span, right? Amount of people that you talk to, you're going to naturally grow and have a healthier baseline to fall on, right? That's profitability. That's what you want. Like most people know how to collect money. They don't know how to control money because they don't know what profitability looks like, right?
Do you foresee HighLevel getting more user-friendly for businesses to so we can really sell it as a SaaS? Because I get in there and and I know my way around software pretty much, but it gets kind of confusing to me.
It is confusing.
Workflow builder is going to make a nice difference.
Yeah. So the reason why we're going to have this whole SaaS thing come out, right, in December, be patient, February, January, I don't know. I don't care. When it comes out, it's going to have a visual flow. It's going to be nice for most people to understand and go through with it, right? Then the billing component, we're going to have billing where you can actually be able to manage billing within HighLevel for your clients, right? That alone is going to make it much easier from an agency perspective to deliver. Now, the user friendliness is going to be preference, right? And how you set it up. If you set up this mammoth of a system with 5,000 pieces. Oh man, our colors and design is just one thing, but what you set up is a mammoth, no matter what we do, right? So there's a grace there that we've got to figure out. But I recommend when you get to that SaaS offer, have 2 or 3 and no more. That's it. Like two-way text reviews, I'm done. That's what I'm going to give you for $200. Don't want it, take it or leave it, no problem, right? So hopefully this conversation just now parlays with what we talked about earlier with the offers, right? Knowing when to give an offer, right? It's in the beginning and the end of when you imagine for those of you that's been doing this for 2 years at least, imagine if you kept every client that you ever came in contact with. What would your agency look like today? Ooh, I think I hit some nerves there, because there's about 20, 30 client agencies sitting at 4 or 5 instead, because we're feasting and famining off of services, right? And hopefully this helped, guys. Howard, any follow-up to that? Sorry, I got on a little soapbox here on SaaS, but I wanted to be very clear and help you guys understand why SaaS and when SaaS, right?
Yeah,
I had a quick follow-up.
I'm clearer on it, and you know, it's also a good foot in the door that you could upsell your, you know, like you said earlier, you know, we can build you up some leads in a database to use the database reactivation and blah blah blah. We can go there, and then, you know, fold in the lead response management, because I think that's a crucial part. Because if you're just doing lead gen, they always say the leads suck, where it's really their responsibility to follow up, and they're shitty at it. So
yeah, let me make something clear though. When you do a database reactivation as an offer to earn their trust, it's a done for you service.
right,
It's not a SaaS do-it-yourself offer.
right.
That's an important distinction, right? I'm going to just do it for you. Don't worry about how these notifications came about. I don't even set them up a login. Why? For what? I'm going to pound them with notifications on their phones. Ding, 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 ding. Oh man, Paulson's doing something crazy. I don't know what it is. Never seen this before. That's literally what happens. I won't even give them access to HighLevel, right? Because I'm just doing that to earn my trust and my way through that business. But if you're selling SaaS, that's a do it yourself. Here you go, do it yourself.
Yeah, I don't think that that the HighLevel's ready for that yet. Well,
they are. I mean, we already have small business owners that are using it themselves. That doesn't change anything, right? But when you offer these things, I hope that helps, right? There's a timing on this, and what model you offer with. If you go in with done with you, hey Raheem, let me work with you for the next 3 months. Oh crap! Like you're gonna set yourself up for failure because you just lost 20 hours a week helping this one client, right? So be careful, do it yourself, done with you or done for you on your models, and when you offer SaaS versus database reactivations. Hopefully that paints a really clear picture. Awesome.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Pavel, is it European or Indian? I can't figure this out.
That's right. It's Pavel. Yeah, it's European. I'm Ukrainian.
Nice. So tell me about your question, bro.
Very nice. Yeah, definitely. So the first thing that I want to say is I love that. I have not thought of that, but it makes so much sense if you already set up. I'm pretty new to HighLevel. I just signed up about a month ago, but it makes so much sense if you already have all the mechanisms and systems and the automated text and email follow-up set up. If they're going to leave, you might as well just downsell them all the stuff that you already created and keep them on board. So that's definitely awesome. I'm definitely going to start doing that. So my question is, I'm kind of new to running ads for this niche that I'm going after, and getting decent results, but I'm wondering, to give these crazy offers that we talked about today, how do you improve or maybe learn about ways to improve service delivery for clients so they stay and maybe don't claim the refund?
Don't make an offer that you can't, if you're not comfortable fulfilling, don't make the offer. I won't go in and say, hey, let me get you 100 patients this month. It's a little too steep, right? So go with grace on what your actual offer is, right? Now, when it comes to fulfilling that offer, if you have doubt on fulfilling that offer, create a contingency. Here's what happens, Mr. Business Owner, if we don't actually hit this number, right? Right. So when we used to do 50 appointment offers, and if they hit like 47, am I going to lose everything? No, I'm going to pay the difference for the 3. You got 47 businesses. I mean, customers that you got to go through, right? So create the contingency on your offer. Now, the second part of what you were saying, results.
Mm-hmm.
I understand why you're concerned about results, right? Typically, when I first started the business, especially in the agency world, I had this illusion, right? I call it the Steve Jobs syndrome, right? And which is the companies I would compare myself to is like Apple, Amazon, Google, all these big players, and Elon. And I'm like, oh, those guys all created fantastic products. And because they created fantastic products, they got more business. In the marketing world, that's not reality, right? What is reality is you giving what you promised, right? If you tell them, hey, on average, I really think I can get you 50 to 60 leads this month, deliver that. You're not going to do any better by delivering 300 leads. I promise you. Right? So especially if you're starting out. Now, if you get to like 50 clients a month, 60 clients a month, then there's a conversation that's to be entertained on quality control, how teams are being delivered, all these different things. But you're not going to scale because of quality. You're going to scale because of your marketing skills and your sales skills. And the quicker you get to like 10 clients, the more offers you can test out and prove. The quicker you get to like 10 clients, the better type of fulfillment you can figure out for yourself. The quicker you get to like 10 clients, the better you understand the business operations of that industry. Does that make sense? So I always do not, no agencies to this day have kept their first client after 2 years. Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody.
And are you just basically just kind of looking in the ads library to see what other companies are doing in this niche and in this industry, and then basically just trying to improve on that?
No, I'm going to do what's relevant to that client's market, their local market, right? If I'm in the middle of Manhattan, I don't care what the ads libraries say. Nothing's going to work. That's right. Where you're starting off, right? If I'm in the middle of little outside of Houston, Texas, with tumbleweeds and a bunch of cows, yeah, I'm gonna have a pretty good chance at attracting some truck drivers if I'm running some campaigns for a mechanic, right? So it's gonna depend on your local that local space of however population you're working with, but don't overanalyze the results. The results are not going to generate more clients. They're not. They're going to keep your clients longer. I get that, but you're not going to drive and scale your agency just on results. We have great clients canceling all the time, right? We have great results still canceling just because they have something else happening, right? So that's not something you can depend on in the marketing space.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, this is something that's kind of come up because a few months ago I ran some paid ads, and I do have a history in the agency space, but I was offering more SEO work and I wanted to transition into paid. And a few months ago I ran some Facebook ads, and we signed on 4 clients in the span of about 2 weeks, and about half of them, so 2 out of the 4 left. And then one of them is getting decent results. One is crushing it, but also one is getting just decent results. So I'm just kind of wondering, before I release more ads and start signing on clients, because I know I can do that. I just want to, make sure the fulfillment's there.
Yeah. SEO is different. It's a more complex service to deliver. It's not that simple.
Yeah, it's Facebook ads now with Go HighLevel and all the automated follow-up and all of that.
In the beginning, I don't know where you are in your business, but if you're doing under like $50K a month, Stick with
Yeah, I am.
one service with one downsell, which we're saying it could be SaaS.
Right.
Cut everything else out. Fire everybody. Let everybody go. I'm telling you, you're not going to scale chasing 5 rabbits. It's hard. It's
Yeah.
just hard. At quality.
Yeah. No,
At
definitely.
quality.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, and I don't offer that anymore. But you know, they're already on and they're already crushing it, and it's, at this point they're already all just doing well. So just moving forward, I wanted, you know, just work with remodelers and do Facebook ads and do Go High Level. So just because I'm transitioning all into something that's brand new, it kind of feels like I'm, you know, starting from ground zero. But I'm taking a few steps back so we can leap forward. So
Yeah, 100%. Think of it as an assembly line. Like you seem like you already know that, right? But what McDonald's got right was volume, making burgers at volume. I can cook a better burger. I'll throw some spices in there, man. You guys can come over,
right,
dude. It's gonna be a kick. But
so barbecue.
I can't compete with McDonald's because they do this at scale. They do per minute. They're making millions of burgers. You know, it's all over the world, right? That's what we have to think like in marketing. How can I crank out? What happens if 20 clients say yes to you and they need to be onboarded by next week? Right? That's the problem that you got to solve right now. That's what scaling is, right? So hopefully that helps, my man. Thanks for checking in.
Yeah, it does.
Ukraine is kind of late, man. You gotta get.
Oh,
some
no,
sleep,
I'm in no. So I was born in Ukraine, but I live in Las Vegas. I'm in the U.S.
Okay, cool,
so,
man.
All good.
Good.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah, absolutely. Action Jackson. I know Action Jackson was first, and then Steph, and we'll call it a day.
Hi. How are you?
Good.
Hi. I'm fairly new as well, like just to high level, and I've been looking at the snapshots, and I wanted to know, number one, do you guys think you'll be rolling out any other snapshots to include like IoT or tech? And also, if not, where are some great places I could study, because I'm not marketing, so snapshots was like new to me until I got on high level. So where are some great resources for that? And then the second question is a shameless plug. Could you possibly look at that ad I just tried to make in the chat? I'll repost it and see if it looks any good to you, just so I can see if I'm going in the right direction. Here,
so can I call you Miss Jackson then?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Or Action, doesn't matter.
Oh, Action is your first name.
Yeah, you can call me
okay,
Action.
okay. I just thought it was just like a screen name, but
It
okay,
is.
Miss Action. Okay, Miss Action. So, are you a marketing agency or a small business owner?
We're a small business owner, content creation.
Oh, so you're in the marketing space, but you create content.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. A lot of the high level stuff is geared towards the lead generation agency. I can tell you that. But a lot of branding agencies, content creation agencies, studios, they're all adopting a lot of those services from Marketplace. A good amount of people are coming through Marketplace and buying lead generation services, right? And you can have a team, or even you can even have other people fulfill for you. But I recommend you outsource your lead generation component, even if it's not us, to anybody else in the high level ecosystem. There's plenty of partners and affiliates, plenty of people that can help you. I recommend you doing that first and foremost. The second thing is, let me look at your ad. You said, let me see.
Yeah. I just reposted it.
Okay, you reposted at the very bottom. Okay, let me go to everyone. Okay, where is this ad placed? What platform?
The question is, that's a good question, because I don't know yet, but I'm thinking either a couple of places, LinkedIn, Instagram, and either Google or something like that. But I just don't know yet for sure.
I would say find that out first, because each platform will have different copywriting, because it caters to different audiences.
Okay. if I were to say put this on IG, that's where a lot of our content creators are.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. Even then, I would address the avatar. This is too generic for me. Like back to business,
okay.
get content now. Content is currency. Get the content for you and your clients. Well, it doesn't talk to my soul. If I want a content,
Okay.
I'm gonna react to the person that says, "Hey, are you a marketing agency owner? Are you a SaaS
Mm,
provider? I can create content for
mm,
you." Now that means you're calling me out because I'm scrolling through. So I would get a bit more specific on that. Uh,
okay.
but then your offer has to correlate with what you provide. What am I getting 14 days of? I don't know.
So it's okay. So
You
try
you
to
have to you have to
explain.
explain it to me right now. I don't know from that
Okay.
copy what it is that I'm getting for 14 days. Is it 14 days of service?
Um,
Is it 14 days worth of content that I can plan out for the next 14 days? Is it in 14
mhm.
days? Is it only open for 14 days? There's a whole lot to it, but um, you know,
Okay.
there's a couple of things there, but hopefully that helps. Steph, I think yours will be the last one. So my
Thank you.
production team, yeah, absolutely. Hopefully my production team doesn't get pissed off about me dragging this on, but because they got to render all these videos for replay posting, right? But Steph, go ahead. Let's go with yours, and we'll call it a day after that.
Yeah. I'm just kind of bringing it back to the whole offer conversation.
Okay.
Just I'm having trouble because basically I've been doing this for 19 years as far as like tech stuff. I'm very tech minded. I'm the nerd. I'll build your website, I'll create your email campaign, I'll do whatever you need me to do. And when it comes to the sales side, it's all very foreign language to me. So when I look at what Joel had created for like, do the 7-day for free, do the 10 leads, like I'm not a lead generation person. I basically, what I've done is for real estate agents, I've created the whole dang thing. I wrote the emails, I did everything. It's all exclusive by zip code. I don't even know how to put an offer around that, or do I have to like split off and do a win back challenge, like a win back campaign, just to say, hey, I'll do a free win back campaign for you. But by the way, like everything else is in the system. Like I don't even know what to do there.
Yeah. So, what exactly? Why exactly do realtors invest into you?
Mostly because they don't want to do it or they don't know how to do it. I mean, because every
Do
real
what?
estate agent's
Do what?
given these platforms, these CRM platforms, like, I mean, there's so many out there. The problem is they are so busy learning how to become marketers that they can't they can't go sell real estate. I mean, that's kind of my thing is like, look, you
So
should
so
go
so
do what you do. Let me
s-
do what I do.
so you actually said it. So what is the result that they need and want?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm waiting for you to write it down. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm
I'm
asking you.
guessing
I'm
for
I'm
me,
trying
I'm
to.
thinking time. That's kind of what I've always, because if you look at that top percent of real estate agents that's actually making the money that I want to charge them, they want their time because they're busy doing their job. So that's kind of been my angle is I can weed through the multitude of real estate agents that are going to be there for 3 months because they realize it's hard business to be in and they can't do it part-time. I'm trying to weed through those people by saying, look, if you don't have any time to, as a real estate agent, to do what you're supposed to be doing, like following up with your leads long-term, following up with your past clients, all that kind of stuff, this is where I come in. But I'm having a hard
Let me
time
ask you this.
relating that to an
Do you,
offer.
let me work backwards with you. When it comes to your fulfillment delivery, do you customize every client every time?
No,
Is it the same thing?
it's the same thing.
What is that thing?
It's a snapshot that I created.
Sure, but what is it? What result do they get out of it?
They get all the inbound landing pages, all the
No.
oh, what do you
What do
mean?
the landing pages give them? Like you're telling me about transportation, not destination,
Oh, destination.
right? I want to know when a realtor, if they give you $2,000, what would they get out of it? Imagine me, like I'm not a technical guy. I don't know anything about systems as much. I'm
Right.
more of a business development mind and sales mind, if anything. So if you tell me, if you come to me, Stefan, I'm in the real estate space, and you tell me, hey, Paulson, I can get you at least 2 closes next month, guaranteed with my system. I'm going to talk to you, right?
Right.
Oh, Paulson, guess what? You don't have to do any marketing anymore. I can create my own system for you where you don't ever have to worry about marketing ever again.
Yeah.
Right? How does that happen? Well, I can get you about 40, 50 leads, right? Now, I get what you're saying. You're not a lead generation agency. That's not what you're excited about. I get that,
Right.
right? And then if that's the case, if you want to take on strictly the time angle, hey, I only work with 8-figure realtors and I help them save 40 hours a week. Imagine that being the offer. I mean,
Right.
imagine that offer, right? Imagine if I read that and I'm really an 8-figure realtor and I need to save 40 hours a week while everybody else is only doing 40 hours a week. I mean, if that resonates with your crowd and you're really accurate about you knowing your crowd and your audience, that offer works,
Right.
right? Right? But we can sit here conceptualize all these things, but you got to run ads.
Right. Just
You got to
test them.
launch ads
Yeah.
so our homework on Friday is you launching ads, right? We're going to be launching ads. This is a workshop. This is not a challenge. This is not a random theoretical class. We're going to do this together, right? And I know this because I entered a new industry with ads and with no results, and it worked, right? I've tested out everything Joel has taught before I say yes to him coming in, just to be respectful to everybody's time, right? So I would say figure out your offer in the sense of what does that generate as a result to your client.
No, that's perfect because I wasn't even thinking that way. I was thinking of what kind of newbie thing do I have to do? Like I was thinking in newbie terms when I should have been thinking,
You're
okay,
not a
in the
newbie.
grand scheme of thing, I'm saving them time, like so much time.
Right.
And I'm
Right.
super
Right.
passionate about that. So I could sell that all day long because that's what I'm passionate about.
Right. In sales, where people go wrong is the client has like their current situation, all this problem, all this dilemma. They got marketing, financing, they've got their wives yelling at them, they've got their kids yelling at them, they've got, employees wanting to quit. I mean, all kinds of stuff happens in a business, right? And then you got this marketing vendor like ourselves coming in out of nowhere, $1,500, and they're like, okay, let's do it. What happened to my $1,500 is the next question, right? So the current situation is one thing. In your sales pitches, in your sales language, in your marketing, you need to talk in context to their desired situation, right? If we're talking about cars, right, where my starting point to my destination, right? Anytime I talk to a marketer, hey man, thanks for jumping on the call. What do you do? They talk about the car. Nobody talks to me about the destination they take their clients. Nobody.
Right.
Not a single person. They tell me, oh, I do Facebook ads, man. I do SEO. Rah, rah, rah. Cool. Me too. Now what are we going to talk about?
Right.
Right. But if somebody comes in a conversation and say, hey, I work with realtors and I help them close at least 2 deals a month. That's my bare minimum of my results. Boom. That's nerve-wracking. That's good marketing, right?
Yeah.
That's now.
See, that's almost a little too uncomfortable for me, but this is where this place is taking me. So.
One close a month.
I mean, they seriously have to pre-qualify for that offer.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
Of course they do. Of course they do.
Yeah.
That's the differentiation between you and another marketer, right? Of course they do, right? And that's what it's about. Remember, me and Joel, we're not telling you, hey, here's the fish. Go bake it, fish it, do whatever you got to do. We're not saying that. We're showing you how to fish. The offers that work today is not going to work in the next quarter. When we run ads every 20 days, we're swapping these out. We're doing dynamic creatives all day long and swapping these out. You cannot just stick, your offer is just so short-lived, but you got to have a variety of offers. After this first year, you should have like 10 offers for your agency all piled up. Second year, you're going into the second year with 10 proven offers. That's a heck of a ammo going on the offense if you're playing, if you're playing the cards right. So hopefully that helps, Steph. I think
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. It's just thinking a bit more macro on what the clients want. That's really what it is. But hopefully today, guys, it was helpful. We went quite long on the Q&A, but it was good because Howard brought up a point on when SaaS actually fits in the offer equation. So I'm glad we were able to kind of unpack that. The replays will be up in case if you joined late in the YouTube channel. But I'm gonna go grab lunch, guys. Have a good one.